sense. So with that being the case, everywhere you go where France is finding itself not so welcome, France starts sending in soldiers. They start trying to kill folk. They start destabilizing the government. Look, people, I posted about this years ago. Without Africa, France is a third world government. Without Africa, France today, not France 200 years ago, France of 2024 is a third world country without Africa. So they cannot afford to do that. They have admitted that they are a third world nation without Africa. So if you do attempt to do that, you're basically, think of it this way, Elijah. It would be the French version of the Second Gulf War. At some point, they would basically have to just send in, okay, look, we just taking y'all stuff.
Yes, sir.
They'll swear that, oh, this government is oppressing these people and we knock these folks off. Okay, now we put in some leaders they're good and friendly, and oh yeah, the so-called new, good, friendly humanitarian leaders just so happen to be all buddy-buddy with France. That's what that would be.
Yes, sir.
So they'll kill, it's like Patrice Lumumba. They'll kill the folk you got in charge, and then the folk they put in place. Oh, well, you were a dictator. You're a dictator. Nobody's done. You're a dictator. So we removed the dictator, and now we have a new president, not duly elected, a new president, and oh, he just so happens to be pro-France. Oh, well. So what I'm saying is eventually that's what it's going to get down to. That they're just going to start knocking folk off and, okay, look, we just replacing your damn government. And who gonna stop us?
Yes, sir.
Now the United States can stop them. Britain can stop them. But the real question is, what's to make them do that? Haiti can't.
Yes,
if France wanted to go at Haiti right now, the only thing that's stopping them is that they're in our hemisphere over here where America is. That's the only thing that would stop it, is where Haiti geographically is located. Other than that, oh, they could go buck wild on Haiti. And they would. That's why they're over there in Africa doing it, but not in Haiti. So they would have to destabilize Haiti by other means. They'd have to find other means to do it. And like I'm saying, look, a dozen mercenaries took out the damn government in Haiti. They killed the damn president in Haiti. Just a dozen mercenaries. You think France couldn't do that for 5 or 10 years?
Yes, sir.
And just send y'all a kite. Look here, if you don't get somebody in there who's pro-France, I don't know how much longer your man gonna make it. I don't know how much longer your man gonna make it. If you don't get somebody in there who's pro-France, I don't know. He might have the same accident the last 4 niggas had.
Yes, sir.
Now we just get to gangsterism. Okay? I'll let you have the last word.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, I got just 2 other quick questions, and then to answer your point. The second question, real fast, is when you're talking about my question with the Haitians, it seems like for the interacting with them for so many years, and you know when they talk about a lot of us foundational Black Americans here in this country, they seem like they're in denial, like they come from an actual poop hole. Okay, but it's not, and a lot of it was their fault because they have a lot of off-code behavior. But when they swear that they're the greatest thing that ever happened to us, why they're in denial? And then my question is, if we were to get behind their reparations, my last question, excuse me, if we were to get behind their reparations to France, well, shouldn't there be a nice exchange, like, hey, they need to roll out the red carpet and actually give us some land, no red tape, nothing? Those are my questions.
Yeah, I mean, let me deal with that in reverse order here. First of all, yeah, we shouldn't give our vote, our help, our support, our financial support, our spiritual support, more support. Folks, we have got to stop giving folks something for nothing. If anybody wants anything from us now, cash, gas, or ass, you pay up.
Yes, sir.
We can't give nothing for free. We done did this free stuff. We've been living on this damn honor system, and ain't nobody got no honor except us. No, everybody got to pay the toll at the gate. You want us to show up for you? We are off the honor system because y'all ain't got no honor. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Yes,
Nobody rides for free on our back anymore. You gonna have to deposit some funds. We want to know before we, quote, help you, what's in it for us? You've been eating off us for over a century. You got well fed. Y'all big and fat and round and well fed. You see what's in it for you. From here on in, what's in it for us? What's in it for us? We're the ones making sure them folks ain't going down there and kicking your damn teeth in. And when you show up over here, it's hey Zaddy. So hell no. From here on in, what's in it for us? If you want our support for anything. Anything.
Yes, sir.
We need, folks, we've been talking about this for our vote. We need to just have this as our culture now. Hey, what's in it for me? Because we tried the honor system and you didn't acknowledge the honor system. So if it ain't nothing in it for us, I ain't gonna put my neck out there like it. It's not gonna happen. Period.
Yeah, exactly. No, and then the other question, why them brothers, why are they in denial, like they don't come from the people?
They're not in denial.
And then when they come up to us,
they're not in denial. No, what you're hearing are massive coping mechanisms. It's not denial. Because the reality is in front of their damn faces. There's a reason that they don't go back where they came from. The reality is undeniable. That's a game they play over here. They play that game over here. Like the Dinesh D'Souza's and them other folks. That's a game they play over here. You don't hear none of that talk back where they come from. Where they come from, they don't talk like that. It's only when they get over here. And that's it. When they're over there and when they over there in India and white folks show up in India, the Indians are real humble. When the Africans are in Africa and the white folks show up in Africa, they get real humble. It's only when they come over here and are talking to us that all of a sudden they start acting like they got something to brag on. But if that was the energy they had, they'd be doing it where they are. They wouldn't get real mumble and staring down at their feet when the white folks show up on their home soil. So just understand it's a massive coping mechanism is what it is. And this is for your consumption, not because it's real. This is something that they feed to people who they don't think know any better. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 703. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh man, this is beautiful. Yusuf calling from Arlington, Virginia. All right,
Yusuf from Arlington.
Wow,
what's on your mind?
This is your scope of international affairs and the global order and how the world is shaped culturally. It's unparalleled, man. I mean, I was just motivated just to hear you speak on a global level in regards to defining the global culture out here, because I mean, let's just face it, man. This goes back to the Cold War, dealing with the 1950s, the State Department and the jazz ambassadors dealing with exchanging the Black Americans' arts and culture to fight the Cold War. This is unprecedented. I mean, because they said we want to give the Black Americans a global stage and exhibiting their cultural music as jazz, as a sense of shift, because the Black Americans have a sense of shared suffering. These are their words. When Karen Hughes, she was the Undersecretary of State for the State Department for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs, she even admitted this. It was under her administration where they created a hip-hop office in the State Department. And their reason for creating the hip-hop office is because the Black Americans has this, they know how, it's a music that expresses a pain, quote, unquote. This is what she said, Karen Hughes. It transcends language barriers as well. So inside the State Department, they have what we call a hip-hop office. And it showcased on their brochures, especially when they was dealing with the Muslim world back in the 9/11, after 9/11, they was showcasing all of the Muslim Black rappers, comedians, Dave Chappelle, Wu-Tang Clan. They had them on State Department brochures. And so the light in which she was talking about the business model of the embassies. She said the embassies of the future would be decentralized, and they would take Starbucks' business model of going where the customer is in multiple venues. And then she went on and said that more and more we are using technology to go over the walls to people. So,
well, definitely what we want to make sure of is that this is something that's very easily transportable. We have made it where it's internationally understood, and it's become the dominant culture in that regard. But understand what it is. It's a culture of resistance, which is what makes it unique. Ours is unapologetically resistant. That's a whole brand new thing. The part where you run into trouble is all these other folks who come from places where that's not what their culture is. Then when they show up with us, it becomes about undermining. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call Miracle 484. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Patrick from Allentown, PA.
All right, Patrick from Allentown, Pennsylvania. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion on something. So, say there's a chance that France gives Haiti reparations, or Britain gives the other Caribbean islands that. What are the chances of them cutting the tethers and their anchor babies here a piece of that pie? I mean, some of them ran across the border, no passport or anything. Had their kids, been here forever, and what are their real ties? It's almost like they gave up their identity to cosplay us, and when they're not going to get our reparations for slavery. So
no, what they're gonna do is they're all gonna try to jockey for their former identity back. Remember, when you're dealing with backstabbing cultures and folks with freeloading cultures and backstabbing cultures, all of a sudden they're gonna try to get on the first thing with wings back to Haiti. They're gonna try to get on the first thing with wings back to Haiti and fill out the paperwork. They're gonna try to get on the first thing back to the Dominican Republic and fill out the paperwork. The first thing back to Jamaica and fill out the paperwork. All of a sudden, you're going to see a mass international movement for dual citizenship. That's what you'll see.
Wow. You think that's at the core of why they get into our conversations? They know how tough it's going to be to actually get anything. I mean, I feel like their reparations is the ability to cosplay us.
Well, no, I mean, no. They jump in our conversation because we're the only ones with a snowball's chance of getting something. Understand, there is no reparations conversation going on in your African Facebook groups, your African Twitter pages, your Caribbean. There ain't no Caribbean Twitter page. There ain't no reparations talk going on over there. Nothing. Because they know it ain't going to happen. We're the only ones who have actually made things occur. That's why they're sitting up jumping in our mentions, because we're the only ones who actually demonstrated we can get something done. When we move, the world changes. So that's the reason why. They know that we can get it done. They know it. If they didn't think we could get it done, they would treat it like UFOs and conspiracy theories. They wouldn't be talking about it. What they're upset about is that they hear us mentioning it and specifically saying who will not be eligible. Now it's not that they don't believe you, they're just trying to discourage you now. Because understand something, if you don't believe me, just do this little thought experiment. If we were discussing reparations for quote unquote all Black people who suffered oppression, if we were including the illegals and the Caribbean and anybody else in it, do you think they'd be saying we wouldn't get it then? I don't think they would say a word against it. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call from Air Code 347. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is John J. calling in from Alpharetta, Georgia.
All right, John J.
Alpharetta.
Well,
that's where them unexceptional whites are.
You've been breaking down.
They're there in Alpharetta.
Foundational Black Americans, we don't hate on other Blacks around the world for trying to get what they're owed, but it just seems that it don't seem like it is. These other groups, it's almost like they don't want us to get it. And we have always supported our brothers, when they're going through turmoil around the world. I just remember me and you, Jason, around the same age. during that apartheid. I just remember blacks over here in the 80s standing up. I remember they did an episode on Different World about it. I remember they made rap songs about apartheid and all that Indian. It just seems like we just can't get that back. And I like what we're doing now. We're just saying, no, hey, we're not going to support y'all anymore. Y'all don't have to get it out the mud like we have. And I work at a hospital here in Atlanta, and I work around all these tethers.
ATL.
When you say a backstabbing culture, man, that's an understatement and a half. Some of the stuff they'll do. And the minute a non-black come around, them same people with cheese and show their teeth big and bright. Man, I just like, man, now I get it. How they can be the majority in their country and still get subjected to racism, and they outnumber the people 50 to 60 to 1. It used to baffle me how that could happen, but now I see it just working around that tribalism and that classism that they'll try to pull over here. Man.
It's a tribe. Tribalism.
Well, I mean, because
is a
now
tribe.
they've got the luxury of not being responsible for the crap they talk. And so it's really a culture where they just bull job artists. Where they came from, that was reality. Nothing got done. They over here safe. Man, we were running things. And they're running things in the ground.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now let me get called from area code 661. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay,
this is Shelley calling from Lake Los Angeles, California.
Okay, brother, it sounds like I don't know if your phone is staticking or whatever is going on, brother. It sounds like you're calling us from Osama bin Laden satellite phone.
Let me just say this. I think it's time for us to unite and not help anybody. I don't care who it is. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, sir, I think so. Go ahead.
Okay, that's mainly what I want to call it and say. I'm 88 years old, and I've seen black people with their Rainbow Coalition. It don't work. Hope and change don't work. Okay, you have to unite and be one. Okay?
I agree.
Keep it up, Jason.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 415. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Raven. Hey, how are you?
Okay, Raven, where are you calling from, sir?
Oh, sorry, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
All right, Raven from Grand Rapids, what's on your mind?
Come on now, Michigan.
So first, I hear the brothers in the background talking, and I want to say this. When the cousins come to me talking their nonsense, I mention a number of things to them. It's NASA, open heart surgery, smartphones, and shuttlecraft. And I ask them, did you help do any of that? If not, go sit down and shut up. Because we didn't have our culture and language intact. We had to fight everything we fought, and yet we still accomplished all of that. What did you accomplish on your home turf with your language and culture intact? So that being said, I agree with the brothers. I think really when it comes to reparations, and I'm not being hateful, but I think what the others need to learn is that, look, we need to shut up, be quiet, let Black America get this, stop talking against them getting it, because if they are able to get this, the rest of us will get ours.
That's true.
We just need to hold the standard now that nobody's going to get anything from us for free, including support. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Going forward, you're not going to be able to have any support here. You're not going to have any support here. So definitely just understand going forward, it's going to be required of it there. Everybody else requiring something they respect them. We sitting up here working on the honor system, and the honor system ain't working. So from here on in, by the way, I just thought you should think that over. Call from area code 571. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Shakir. I'm calling from Arlington, Virginia.
All right, Shakir from Arlington. What's on your mind?
VA. DMV.
If I got reparations, I know what I would do with it individually. You know, there would be it would be a present value of a stream of cash, and it would go on into the future. Now, is there a way, I know personally I've established a perpetuity, but is there a way we can establish a national perpetuity for Black people? Because the perpetuity is the sum of a regular series of fixed payments that will go on into the future, and you can pass it on to posterity. Think of it as an annuity, but unlike an annuity, it will never end. You get a certain amount of money, and you can get what's called a perpetuity. Now, you speak to accountants, and you can ask your accountant about it, and I'm sure he knows about it.
Yeah, I mean,
But
here's the issue. No. When you hear things like baby bonds, perpetuity, annuities, things like that, everybody wants to make up a perpetual value machine. Unfortunately, that really, when you go through the process of it, it wouldn't really work because number one, inflation. Number two, for example, when folks think about the Middle East, you think about places like Kuwait and, Saudi Arabia and things like that, when folks don't have to work if they don't want to or whatever. Well, yeah, that's because they have a very high value, they have a low population, high value product that gets sold globally. So they're basically being subsidized because of oil. The rest of the world does the work. And since they've got such a high value asset, it's got such tremendous value, they're distributing its value among the population.
That's true.
So that's where you're going to run into difficulties with. At some point, you're going to have labor backing the value. At some point, you're going to have that. So without that, trying to find a perpetual money machine or a perpetual value machine, there's the real reason why any of them in any form are going to have, difficulty. You're not going to be able to get that to work. Simple as that. Right. So if there's not value backing it, if there's not labor backing it, you won't be able to continue it.
That's
Thank
true.
you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call from area code 954. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mr. Black. This is Derek calling from West Palm Beach.
Derek from West Palm Beach. What's on your mind?
Hey, I don't know if you guys know, but Luther Campbell is running for office down here. And I saw on his Instagram thing, he was talking about a Haitian agenda. He would go down there and try to talk to, I guess, the guy barbecue down there or whatnot. And I kind of mentioned something, and they got all up in me about, hey, you don't have a culture, you don't have this and this and this. And I'm like, what is his black agenda? He didn't have a black agenda. He was talking about Haiti. I'm just like, dude, you Jamaican, what are you talking about Haiti?
You're
and
Jamaican.
It threw me off, and I'm like, you just need to stick to music, my friend, and leave the politics to
or go home.
Somebody who knows.
Bye, bitch. Bye.
Well, I mean, I would be interested in seeing that. Although in Luther's case, I would pretty much believe anything. To be totally honest with you, there, he's all I can say, y'all, is the leader of 2 Live Crew. How much do you expect? Well, what do you expect from the leader of 2 Live Crew? It's just
nothing.
All these decades later, it's just I wouldn't be surprised.
I know, man. I know.
If the nigga came out tomorrow with a Charlie Brown T-shirt on, I'm like, I can't tell you. I'm just told Luther Campbell. I can't believe that. No way. We're about to be. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Just to put it in its proper context here. By the way, I went by his Instagram, so he's getting crunked up for Cinco de Mayo. So he's getting crunked up for Cinco de Mayo. So yeah, brother, it would take a lot to surprise me. When you say the name Luther Campbell, yeah, that alone is going to take a lot to surprise me. Call America 206. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name?
Gone. Then he was just gone.
Good evening. This is Agnes calling from Seattle, Washington.
All right, Agnes,
Maybe I
what's on your
need to
mind?
close my garage.
Hi. The podcast
Animals
this
just
evening
walk in on
fire. Nothing other than just straight facts. Talent on the agenda. I like the fact that you just put the stuff on the plate. You got a Haitian problem. It's a Haitian agenda. Black folks, we can't have it. And it's true. The Haitians really do believe that they are French. They do not have anything, any connection to any of us on the soil, nor do they want to have anything to do with the soil. Okay? They look down through their noses at us, and they still think that we are slaves and that we can't be any better.
Well, you know, more than that, not only do they want to be French, that's only one part of it. They aspire to be French. Now, that's a whole separate issue right there. There's one thing if you say, "Well, I want to be French." There's another thing to say, "I aspire to." And what I'm saying is, if they have a choice between being black and aspiring to be French, wow, that we're going to lose that one every time.
It's laughable because I've lived in France for a few years, and I've also I do travel to Quebec back and forth quite often. And it's interesting why these people tell these stories, why they want to adopt French culture and mannerisms when the French think of them as barbaric people with absolutely tribalist tendencies. And the French treat anybody, you say you're from Haiti, you are worse than dog poop, okay? And people who are Haitians living in France, they will not say that they are Haitian. They will say they're from either Quebec or Canada, or they're from the Caribbean. And they're very careful about saying which part of the Caribbean, because they've got to deal with people from Guadeloupe and Martinique who actually spit on Haitians. It's that bad. Interestingly enough, when they're in Quebec, the Quebecers don't even entertain their heirs, okay? The Quebecers are worse than us, okay? They tell the Haitians, you won't amount to anything, you'll never be anything. A lot of it happens to be racial, but with the Quebecers who do understand the whole French hierarchy and the Haitian mentality, you know what? That's why they came here to the United States with that pretentious stuff. And you know what? Keep roasting them, because we're minding our own business. And you know what? Haitians are on their own. Thank you, and be one.
B1, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call from area code 240. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, what is your name? Where you calling from?
You didn't have any
My name
patience.
is Hammer, and I'm calling from the East Coast of the United States.
Okay. All these people calling from their damn UFO space phones. What is your name again?
Hammer, calling from the East Coast of the United States. That is my
Hammer calling from
handle.
Hammer calling from where at?
East Coast of the United States.
All right.
East Coast.
All right, Hammer is calling us from the outer reaches of your imagination. So let him get back to finding his way back home like Star Trek Voyager. Caller from area code 404. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Brother Aquarius calling from Atlanta.
Okay, come on, ATL. We rooting for you, right?
I just had one question.
No, people from Georgia.
When you say reparations across the board, would you say that our celebrity class owes us reparations? Because whenever it's time for elections to come around, instead of stomping for reparations, all they talk about is endorsements and who they want to vote for or who they want us to vote for. But they don't actually push or back anything that has to do with our agenda.
Well,
so when you say reparations across the board,
the bottom line is that we have to understand you're going to have cowards and coons no matter what you do. So, no, they're not really. I mean, there's certainly an irritant. There's certainly a problem, but there's no reparations claim to them. There really isn't anything to them. If they're walking around talking against their own best interests, that's an offense. It's a different one. That's an offense, but it's a different offense. We got a different mechanism for dealing with coons and cowards. There's a different mechanism for dealing with that, which is what we've done, which is by instituting, by the way, they coons and cowards and putting the pressure on people and whatnot. And then you start seeing things change. So with the celebrity class, that's more the mechanism for them. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 904. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Sean, Jacksonville, Florida.
All right, Sean in Jacksonville.
He knows where he's at. Like, how hard is that?
You know, people are always talking about the logistics that we'll have to deal with if we get reparations here in the United States. I'm just curious, what kind of logistics would they have to deal with there in Haiti? Say that France decided to give them their reparations. I mean, I know they have a big mulatto class, and you know, how would they sort all that out? What would it look like?
So tired.
I mean, that's a very, very good question, because this is why I say, by the way,
just no respect
if you don't back
anymore.
it, nothing's going to happen. Where is there? First of all, they don't even have an organized government. Literally right now, there's a fella named Barbecue with an AK-47 and 50 niggas from the discotheque who got the nation on its knees. So you think that France, an imperial world power for the last 500 years, you think they're scared of Barbecue? By the way, I'm not going to diss Barbecue too much when he's trying to do something. But like I say, I mean, that's the situation. That's the situation right there. And with that being the case, you know, that's what they bought in for. You don't have an organized government. You've refused to get an organized culture. It isn't going to happen. It's not going to happen. So where's logistically the infrastructure? There is none. They don't have an economy of any significance. And they don't have any international ties of any significance. All they have is the good fortune of being in the Western Hemisphere of the United States. That's all they have. That's all they have. Outside of that, there's nothing. So I submit to you, there isn't anything. There's nothing there. It's not in place. It's not on its way. What they're really doing is trying to do their best imitation of being some people with some power. Going to the United Nations and begging is not a strategy, because Haiti has no clout in the United Nations.
No.
The United Nations is an organization whereby which the real superpowers of the world hammer out their issues. Haiti is not a power broker on the world stage.
No.
Haiti is a power beggar on the world stage.
I'm hoping Haiti knows that already.
And they
Don't
spent
you know
their time,
Haiti?
the only folks who could help them, us, they spent their time either trying to undermine us or gaining bad will. And so now they're in a position where they want to imitate us on this issue of reparations, but they can't actually do it. So they can imitate our slogans. You can call these Indian organizations. You can say all that stuff, but the real question, brother, is what you're not asking there, but let me reword that. Where's their leverage? Forget infrastructure. Where's your leverage? What are you going to do to France if France don't play ball? What are you going to do to them? Where's your mechanism whereby which to express your disdain what's going on and discontent? Where is it?
Wow.
What can you do to them? Now, this ain't about morality. If France doesn't subscribe to your morality, how are you going to press them to change what they're doing and to go along with something? Because that's what we've been talking about over here. That's what we're doing. We're exercising our leverage. The real question is, where's the Haitians' leverage? That's the question. And without that, there is no conversation. You just have a pipe dream about what France owes you. Yeah, a pipe dream and absolutely no leverage to make it happen. We had a mechanism to prevent the United States government from ignoring us. We had sufficient enough numbers here on American soil, and whether it was lighting up Watts or marching in Selma, we could do things that the government here could not ignore. Tell me one thing that Haiti can do that the French government can't ignore. Name one. Anybody. Tell me one thing that Haiti could do that France couldn't ignore. Out of hand. Wholesale. Truth of the matter is, France only has a ethnic, a cultural, historical connection to Haiti. Once the issue of superpowers and hemispheres got settled, France doesn't have any holdings in Haiti. They don't have anything. Nothing at all. They would be just as happy if Haiti disappeared tomorrow. What did they lose? What does France lose if Haiti disappears tomorrow?
Oh, snap.
Now, I can tell you what America loses if we disappear tomorrow. Nobody can know. What does Haiti lose? Man. So no, sir, there is no logistical infrastructure in place. There's no diplomatic infrastructure in place.
Oh.
There's no governmental infrastructure in place. There's no economic infrastructure in place. There isn't even leverage.
And what about that mulatto situation? Is that really a bad situation? I mean, could the people even come together to work as a unit to get things done?
He said the mulatto situation. Okay.
Historically, the mulatto thing has been a problem only historically. It isn't even a factor today. They're all in the same boat today. They all niggas now. They may pretend to each other that it's different, but you can't show me a light-skinned person from Haiti who's holding nothing that anybody else isn't. You can't show me anything.
That amalgamation. That amalgamation for that.
You're not going to be able to wish your way out of this one. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 202. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Frank from Washington, D.C. This whole thing about the Haiti situation is almost similar in some aspects to the Palestinian situation. My thing is, why don't all of these well-to-do, wealthy Haitians that made it in this country come together and go back to Haiti and figure out a situation there, set up try to set up, calm down.
They got comfortable off of our work.
The question provides the answer, though.
The
answer is in the question you just asked. A person doesn't flee because they care about where they came from. They're fleeing specifically because they don't give a damn about where they came from. They're trying to be anywhere but there. The issue is not that they geographically separated themselves from Haiti. What we understand and what they keep lying about, but their actions prove what they really believe, they have emotionally, culturally, ethnically, economically, and every other lead divorced themselves from Haiti. That's the problem. You understand something that I understand and everybody else does. Right now, Haiti is in dire straits. Right now, Haiti needs patriots. Haiti needs true believers. Haiti needs people who love Haiti when it's experiencing its darkest hour. And what you found out is that Haiti doesn't have a population that loves Haiti. They have a population that loves themselves. When they say Haitian, there isn't anything to have pride in. So that's why cutting and running is so easy. They don't care that the ship is going down just so long as they ain't on it when it does. And so when you say, why is it they don't go back? It's because it's the Haitian culture today, and truth be told, we're talking about Caribbean culture, but we're going to talk about Haiti for a minute. Haitian culture today is every man for himself. And
y'all like that for real, Haiti?
The truth of the matter is,
come on, Haiti.
Situations in today because their culture today is every man for himself.
Wow. Right. And then, and as far as the reparation situation, for those of us African Americans who are born and raised here,
he could be though. I'm not saying that some of us can trace the actual African slaves, right?
System,
so he could be one.
Return on investment for them. There's no money in it for them. That's why they're willing to have bipartisan packages sending money to Ukraine and Israel, because they're making money off of that. all these defense contractors and whatnot, they're making money off of it. There is no money in reparations. They've gotten all of our hard work and the hard work of our ancestors to build this very system. They've gotten all the work. They haven't gotten all the labor out of us. So they're looking at it as, well, we already got what we needed out of them, and we can still string them along, and get some more labor out of them, so we really don't need them as much.
Well,
we can count on, people from
there's a darker side to it is the issue, though. There's a darker side.
Let's see what he says.
Which is something that I don't think that we here in America have considered. Brothers and sisters from around the world, and I don't think anybody's ever mentioned this before, but have you all considered that Haitians see us as Americans?
American.
That's the reason why the black conversation doesn't penetrate, and why it is so easy for them to adopt their backstabbing culture practices with us, because as far as they're concerned, not only are we not Haitians, we're also not black, we're Americans. So we simply constitute another group of people for them to get over on.
You like that, Haiti? That's how you really function?
Right.
Has anybody considered that before I mention it tonight?
I just don't think about anybody.
My
own people
to get over on. Oh yeah, that kind of tracks.
I didn't waste time trying to figure Haiti out. Also. I gave up on that.
They look at us. They don't see us as African descent, nor black, except in the abstract. They see you as Americans, which means another group to get over on.
He's a motherfucking liar.
Right, I never thought of it like that.
So we're going to call your bluff then, Haiti.
It's been nice talking to you, though.
We're about to call your bluff.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Like I say,
damn, Haiti, people telling on
we think of ourselves as different. I understand that. But have you thought
Haiti,
that
what's
Haitians
up? Are you really like that?
Us as dark-skinned Americans?
I know American.
Dark-skinned, for lack of a better phrase. Well, you're the dark-skinned version of the white folk there.
If you believe that, then you're crazy.
Context, they mean it.
You should go
You're
home.
another group for us to get
You're
over.
black liability.
So
if you
we don't
are
have
Haitian,
to
believe
deal
that.
with you honorably. We don't have to uphold anything with you. You are just another group to get another group in that place called North America for us to get over on.
Good luck with that.
You're just another one. That's all. You're just another one. You think about it there for a moment. The whole game. You think about it, though, I think you'll find it makes a little bit of sense there. That's the attitude that all these immigrant classes bring as they look at us and, well, you're just the dark-skinned version of those white folk because your lineage goes all the way back to the beginning. So you're the dark skin. The white folk been there for hundreds of years. You've been there for hundreds of years. So you're just the dark-skinned version of them. You're the dark-skinned American.
I'm an aborigine.
We try to get over on the white folk and try to get them to drop off as many benefits as possible. And you're just another group in America for us to get over on.
Then sleep on us. Sleep on us then.
If we can manage it. You're just another one.
Sleep on us.
So, yeah, we'll sign on for black when convenient and black power when it's to our convenience. But when we walk out the room, yeah, them dumb niggas up in there, every man for himself. Every man for himself. The reason why you could not have a situation among us as you see in Haiti today with a complete and total breakdown is because we do not see it as every man for himself. We have spent centuries building a common culture that unites us.
Mm-hmm.
We've never had the idea of every man for himself.
That's crazy.
That's why that would never happen here among us. Caller from area code 651, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's getting good.
Good evening, Jason Black. This is Bill Mahari calling out of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
All right, Bill out of Minneapolis. What's on your mind?
You know, you make a really good point when you think about the fact about how these Haitians really don't identify with FBA, because they look at it as this. They look at it as if you're basically a group that we don't identify because we're not like you guys. And the fact of the matter is that the fact of the matter is, when I look at the whole situation, you know, there's so much that the Black Americans have done historically that pretty much has screwed over the tools of white supremacy for so many years. And unfortunately, the way I look at it is, you know, Haitian people don't identify with that because they've been used to getting butt broken, they've been used to getting beaten up so much, to the point where they just pretty much accept their fates of it, and then they don't even know how to combat with it. When you look at the whole situation, what's going on in Haiti right now,
Haiti,
it's very
they eating
simple.
your
The people have just
ass.
accepted the fact that their country is
you
falling
do?
apart, and no one's going to do anything about it. That's completely the opposite of what we see here in the United States. And unfortunately, from my vantage point, they just don't want to relate to that, and they rather accept the French coming over and pretty much taking over the country, retaking their sources, and then pretty much, you know, putting the screws to their government, and then pretty much becoming a lapdog for the French Revolution. That's how they look at it.
Good luck with that.
Well, certainly they are looking to placate them and to still glom onto that identity. And you know that because we offered them something far better than being French. We offered them something of being Black, which would tie them to us. And they flatly refused that. It's like, we ain't trying to do all that.
Refuse.
We're trying to do something different. That's why when the
Go
Clintons
be
go
different.
down there, they start dancing and buck dancing and singing. They've made no overture. They've had half a century to make overtures to us and didn't move a muscle. That's the issue there. Jamaica, Dominican Republic, you name it. Everybody's got the same damn pathology. The white folks show up and they start taking off their shoes and dancing. We show up and they start building walls and obstacles. So they definitely express their hostility where we're concerned. And they're chasing something that can never happen, which is French affinity. And in reality, here's the problem.
Okay.
That will never work. You are not the bastard stepchildren of France. You were their slaves. And it's insanity to keep trying to redefine yourself as their bastard stepchildren. It's not going to work. Spain culturally operated a little bit different, but in Spain's case, this is like dad's raping the daughter and then marries the daughter.
That's true. No, that's true.
That's not an improvement. So in France's case, I mean, the sick game they're playing with themselves is, oh, well, we're dark-skinned Frenchmen and we got this affinity of this, that, and the other. No, you're not their bastard step. Well, they kind of treat us some bad, but we still subjects of France, the children. You're not the children of anything. You're their slaves.
Yeah, like what's wrong with you?
And if you ever get to a point where you accept that reality, then you will get back to where you used to be under Toussaint Louverture and Jacques Dessalines. Now, you remember there were no walls between us and Dessalines. There were no walls between us and Louverture. There were no walls between us then. But that was because their backs were against the wall and France wasn't sitting on the other side of the world or sitting in the harbor. France was on their damn necks, literally. When that happened, all of a sudden, they were Black. All of a sudden, there was no resistance. When there was only one group of folks they was reaching out to, and that was it, us. There was no resistance at that point to identifying themselves firmly and strictly with us. That was then. Soon as France pulled out, all right, we French folk.
Eating your ass.
Soon as France pulled out, all of a sudden we French. And literally within a generation, they were not identifying anything with us anymore.
That's fine.
No outreach to us anymore at all.
I'm good.
Nothing. It all disappeared. Didn't take 100 years. It did not take 100 years. Not at all. So just recognize there's been a pathology that's been at work here. You got folks trying to play both sides against the middle. We are the only people who made progress because we ain't playing both sides against nothing. We playing our side. And everybody sees that we prospered, but they're all trying to bring their damn dysfunction over here where they can identify as black and something else.
Yes.
And
That's a
saying,
fact.
look, it's black 10 toes down, this what it's going to be. And because remember, I mean, I keep telling y'all this, and I know it sounds like a joke, but I said last week, but it's not, I'm not joking.
No.
I'm dead serious when I say this. It just sounds like a joke to some people, but I'm not kidding. The reason why
joke.
we here in America,
tell them,
as black men of our lineage, cannot make no inroads with the average African is because we ain't got no white women to offer. He's like, hey, what did the department get in with you niggas over there? First thing he wants to know, where the white women? And you know it's true because take a look how they act when they get off the boat in Britain. First thing they're looking for is a white woman.
And the white woman.
They come over here. First thing they're looking for is a white dance club. Where's Paris Hilton? Get out my way, Doc Butts.
What to be this Britney Spears?
That's the first thing it turns to. So you see, they don't want empowerment. At least that's not their definition. We don't have any white women to offer. So he's like, well, you got nothing. What do you have? And
we have each
I got
other.
Empowerment. We have a culture of resistance.
We have each other.
Yes. But where are
Silly.
the white women? All I see is other niggas around here. And he's like, you ain't got nothing to offer me. You have nothing to offer me. Because he doesn't see. We got to understand that these folks don't see being among us as the status symbol. They see us as a stepping stone. What? They see us as a stepping stone. That we made a lane for them to get over here. They're only going to hang around us until they get their feet under them. And then the next step is to leapfrog over in the white society. And take whatever cast off trailer bunny they can get their hands on.
Good luck.
But we have to understand they see us as a stepping stone. They don't see us as a final destination.
Oh, that's good though. I want them to keep going.
They just see us as something to use to get where they're really trying to go to.
Where the hell are you trying
to
go?
Or if it blows up in their faces, then they scramble back over to us.
You are the greatness. Where are you trying to go? You're an aborigine.
Get together. What we do? Black first, brother. Black first, brother. And then it turns into that. The only thing is, I just don't want us falling for the game anymore. That's all. Just don't want us falling for the game anymore. I'll let you have the last word.
Yeah, definitely. So the bottom line is they just like to play this back and forth game, and I think it's very important that we don't fall for that. As soon as they make the move to try to deflect away from the issues that are really going on here in this country, just ignore them completely. And just the fact of the matter is, if they can't embrace the fact of who they are, that's their problem. That's not our problem. And I'm going to land my plane on there. Have a good night. Be one.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 612. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Jason? It's Akeem from Long Beach, calling from Guatemala right now.
All right, Akeem from Long Beach. What's on your mind?
I spoke with you on a business broadcast about sustainable building and stuff like that. I'm actually in Guatemala doing some stuff like that, but I was in Haiti doing a build, and we built a school, and a lot of the Haitians, they're trying to melt Americans for money. And for me, it's like, don't even come over here with that, because that's not what I'm here for. But you hit it on the nail, and it made sense to me, because every now and then, once I leave the country, I get off WhatsApp, because if I don't, they'll just keep hitting me up for money or whatever. But you hit it on the nail. They don't see us as Americans. They don't see us as black. We're on the same team. They see us as Americans. So they just look at me.
You know what? You actually raise a very good point there. I mean, quiet is kept, and we're gonna keep it all the way real. Like, they always in somebody's pockets. It is what it is. I mean, if somebody got an extra dime, whether it's their relatives or friends or something, what you say is absolutely true. They hitting you up 2:00 in the afternoon, 2:00 in the morning. If somebody's over here, man, they ring in your pockets. They buzzing in pockets 24/7.
And the white people, you know what I mean? They're generous, but some of them, you know what I mean, they think it's funny or whatever the case may be. But you hit it on the nail, man. Again, about like 5 years ago, I was helping a buddy in Africa, had an orphanage, and I'm really out there, you know what I mean, doing the most. I'm flying with bags, helping for schools and shit, and there's an embargo. They not letting us take bags, but you hit it on the nail where it's like I had to stop working with them and helping them out. I found out about you in probably like 2012, but it really blew my mind. I had to stop working with them because I came to understanding like, shit, ain't nobody helping me. Like nobody's helping me. And what made it even worse, you hit it on the nail. The dude who worked at the orphanage, he married a white lady through the internet, a fat white lady. You know what I mean? Not trying to. He's trying to get his green.
He's trying to get his green card, boo. He's trying to get his green card, boo. That's what he's trying to do.
And I can respect him if he's like being transparent about that. Like, hey, I'm trying to work the system. Like, hey, I'm like, but that's his mentality. Like, you got it right. Like, he sees me as an American. I really have to go to him. Like, fuck, like. We're not on code. And this before, you know what I mean? This is like 2015. So, like, me just having as a young person, having like an understanding, like, damn, he's not even on code. And him not being on code puts me in a dangerous situation financially, but also maybe business.
Told you, those are black liabilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a name for that.
He'll sit up here and let you get lynched
Black
next to a boo-boo.
liability.
And I mean, that's messed up right there. It's like, hey, dude, you couldn't at least found something halfway decent looking? Like he's waiting to he's not even waiting to sell you all out for a gourmet meal. He's just like, hey, if somebody throws a 5-day-old sandwich over here, I'll hang this nigga. So that's a hell of a thing. And at least our price would be significantly higher.
You're not lying though. One of the good things about some of the work that I do, we are taking trash and building homes. Very complex. It's an organization called EcoHab. Not trying to plug, but a lot of the Haitians, we created an initiative, a housing initiative. We really went out there. Like this is like, man, we really went out there, right? Started collecting trash. They're looking at, and I'm like one of the only black persons there. I'm doing it for media.
You're supposed to do that,
but I'm the only black person there.
In your community,
and all the Haitians looking at the white people like, look at these white people out here picking up trash. There's so much trash, they'll never be able to pick it up. They'll never be able to pick all of it up. And trash washes up on shore every day. But in the second week, we took that trash and started insulating a structure. And within week 3, it took us a month to build this classroom. In week 3, we're going back to the site to pick up the trash, and they're like, you got to buy it.
Yeah. I mean, just as soon as they can, let's start backstabbing as soon as we can.
Yeah, but
that's crazy.
Stick to the positive, but the good thing is we're working with the Haitians who want to stay and better. We was in Laguna, but a lot of the younger people, they understand that, like, hey, they might not understand how complex America is, but they want to, like, they have pride in where they're from. And so the people, they're building their own structures. We're able to teach them how to build structures, and right now they're building structures. But the ones who don't
I just want to know, why is he over there helping them?
Like, man,
maybe he's with, like, what,
and the people here in Guatemala,
Army, Navy, or Air Force? What did he say he was doing? Why are you over there, son?
Leave, but the people who stay, they're really sound with building their country up. And
I mean, but that's the way it always. That's the way it always is. I don't have any respect for the ones when I see them up over here. I'm like, okay, how'd you get here?
I know.
Oh, I had you leave. Okay,
right.
Okay, well, I'd be a fool to think you're gonna be solid for us. The place where you were born at, you got up and ran.
It's not just me.
See,
like,
I'd be a fool to think you're gonna stand
by me. It's not just me who thinks that way.
I'm gonna ask you a real question right now, because like I've been conflicted and just trying to figure out. So like, my mom, you know what I mean? I love her, all that. She passed away, but you know what I mean? She didn't have all the answers. And I have 2 brothers, and I'm the youngest who have FBA dads. And for me, I don't know my dad. And I pressed my mom to the day she passed away. You know what I mean? I took care of her my whole life and all that, but I pressure like, damn, like you ain't no better than the slave master if you can't like help me out with information. I feel like maybe towards the end, like me pressing her, she genuinely did not know. But like I got more of an FBA spirit than my brothers. My mom, she's Belizean, so my brothers are half FBA, half Belizean. But like all the work, like I could have opted out a long time ago.
That's all a little complicated.
I mean, I played college sports, bunch of different shit. But when you get into the system, you really realize like it's everywhere. It's not just in one industry, so you can't run away from it. It's either you merge with it or you just fight. And I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna fight forever, even if I never get there. I'm gonna still just continue pushing the needle forward. So
remember,
figure out like
when it comes to our culture, resistance is not something you do; it's what you are.
Right.
It's not something that you see; it is something you become. That's the difference.
Right.
And I don't mean resistance as in aggression. I'm just saying resistance as in when something's trying to corrupt you, break you down or whatever. It is in your spirit. It's in your DNA not to fold.
It's in your DNA.
Right.
Pay attention.
The betrayal of your genes would be folding under pressure because we're the ones who created a culture of resistance. That's why people marvel at what we do. But that's what makes us special. That's what makes us different. That's what holds people in awe of us. They come back and look and say, damn, he's still standing?
Right.
He's not just standing, he's flying.
I was really trying to figure out, like, being a young person doing something that's going against your grain, you're trying to work outside of the system that doesn't really recognize you as human. How would you go about when it comes to even like financial relationships, emotional relationships, romantic relationships, friendships? Because for me, I only got like 3 people I actually interact with on a daily basis. And if you can't provide.
That's enough right there. As a person here, as you get older, your job is not to be friends with the whole damn world. That's a nice childhood idealism you were fed, but that's not your goal in life. You're not here to be a politician. You want to be friendly and agreeable with as many people as you can, but as far as folk you allow in your inner circle, that's a different matter. That's a different matter. So be polite to everybody, but you don't have to open the doors beyond that. You don't. You don't. As a matter of fact, power is gained by how many people you say, or the people in situations you say no to, not what you say yes to. It doesn't take courage to say yes. It takes courage to say no. It takes courage to tell somebody who's trying to do something to you or do something at you. It takes courage to say no. I resist that. No. That takes courage. So if you're talking about personality and character and identity, first and foremost, you look and you define for yourself what you will not do, what you will not accept, what you will not have, what you will not adopt, what you will not tolerate.
The lies.
That's going to determine an empowered life
of that white creature.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call from area code 513. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling
from? This is DJ Wynn from Dayton, Ohio.
Hey, DJ Ohio in the house. Okay. I ain't from Ohio.
Yeah, man. What's on my mind, man? I'm glad that you're talking about this topic on your podcast because I had talked to a couple foreigners that I work with, and they kind of like I almost got into it with one of them, man, because they got pretty upset with me because I was talking about reparations, and one of them I got into it with a little scuffle between, going back and forth. Yeah, he told me to my face. He said, "Yeah, Black Americans are lazy." So I asked him, I try to do it, like you do it, like give the talking points. So I asked him, I said, "What country you come from?" He said, "Tulu." I said, "I never heard of that before." But if we so lazy, why did you flee to your country to make a better life? Like you said, to be an engineer in America, you could have did that in university in Africa. He couldn't explain that. So he started smiling. So I told him, I said, look, I said, if you start smiling, I said, I don't think it's a damn joke. And I said, if we weren't on this job, we was kind of like in an area where no cameras was. But I told him, I said, if we weren't on this job, I'll whoop your ass right now for saying that. Because obviously you don't know your history. And if it wasn't for us, if I'm not mistaken, what you had taught me in 1965, you said the rite of passage for Africans to come over to this country. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but you can correct me. But when he said that, I kind of got upset. And then that smile went off his face. I said, because if it weren't for us fighting for y'all to come over here, you wouldn't have the opportunity to be an engineer to quit this job like you're going to. I said, I'm not hating on you. You know, you get your money. I ain't jealous of that. But I said, but don't try to rub it in my face. I said, because I'm going to check you real quick, fast.
And that's where we fucked up.
Well, you know,
people.
like I say, I mean, y'all, that basically breaks it down right there. Dude, if you're trying to run this coping mechanism scam about hard work, and if you were hard working, why the hell weren't you hard working where you were? If that's the case, this is just a logic problem right here. If you're hardworking, you would have been hardworking where you were. If where you were had value, you'd still be there. You came to a place that has value. You know why? Because the lazy folk are where you come from. That's the lazy ones. The place that they grew up in, the situation it was in, that's the situation it's in now. They're going from the cradle to the grave with no changes. That's the lazy folk.
Gotcha.
That's the unmotivated
Gotcha.
folk. We improved where we are. Century over century, decade over decade. The lazy folks are sitting over there trying to get a degree so he can get up out of there. Well, yeah, because you're surrounded by folks like yourself. It doesn't take courage or effort to get up and run. It doesn't take that. Staying where you are and saying that this is ours, this belongs to us, and we're not letting it go. Well, that takes work. That takes effort. And if he had something to show for it, he'd have that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a call from area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Jason. This is Nick from Chicago by way of Houston.
Nick from Chicago. What's on your mind?
Yeah, getting back to what you were talking about, came in a little bit late, but not sure if you had covered it. So as far as Haiti and all the other countries now pushing for reparations very, very hard, yeah, they definitely took their cues from us. I see that conversation, and as you said, I do a lot of business in West Africa and all over the place, other places, and most of these people, either they're scamming, they're joking, or they're ready to fight another black person. That is what I've run into, and it's unfortunate. They're scamming, they're joking, or they're ready to fight another black person. But when it comes to anybody else, including that they got a whole ass city where it's Chinese only in Nigeria, Chinese only speaking in that town. If a Chinese person gets arrested, they go to a Chinese prison where they get 4 square meals a day. They get treated very differently and whatnot. So, I mean, they're letting it happen all over the place. But for the ones that are pushing for reparations, to get on that point, they are taking our cues. You would swear that if we didn't exist, those talking points wouldn't exist. But it's going to be very interesting to see. I want to hear your thoughts on this part about the Sahel region and a lot of those revolutions or coups that are happening. I see at least 1 or 2 nations over there that seem to be serious, particularly in Burkina Faso. They tried to overthrow this guy 20 times since he's taken over in the last year and a half. And he's actually like slow rolling everything. Kicked out France, kicked out Germany, didn't even know they were there, and then kicked out the U.S. They tried to bribe him, I think, with $40 million or something, and he said no. So what are your thoughts on some of those nations in the
Yeah, I
West
mean,
Africa?
look, folk keep calling me about this every week and whatnot. I've answered it kind of before there. But I mean, particularly Burkina Faso, apparently that's gotten some folks' attention about that. That's cool and everything, but I say the same thing I always said.
They're across an ocean.
You know, this is the same story we've been watching now for 60, 70 years. They kick one guy out. They try to overthrow another one. I can't vouch for the righteousness of this individual. I can't do that. Hasn't been long enough. Just because he's sideways with some of the colonial powers, I can't sit up here and make assumptions based on that. What inroads has he made to us? What is he offering us? What has he asked of us? Those are the questions I have. In Burkina Faso and anywhere else for that matter. Zimbabwe, I said it. South Africa or anything else. Before I don't want to sit up here and say people have the right to have revolution. If they feel they're being wronged, their rights are being violated, they're being aggrieved. I have no issue with that. But if you're asking where is my support, now that's going to be a different answer, because I meant what I said. I'm not supporting anybody else who has not made it clear that they support us. I support Julius Malema. That man has been talking about supporting us. I can rock with that. That I can rock with. And that's why they ain't going to mess with him, because he's got our support. The rest of these folks,
I don't know.
So far, what have they said? What have they done? What are they offering? It's just no, because here's the issue. We get caught up because every time something goes down, we jump up and start putting our capes on.
Captain Saber.
And now what I'm saying is, have we learned anything?
Yes, we have.
Have we learned anything at all?
We finally have.
Or do we just keep mindlessly, blindly going around operating in good faith with people who have not extended good faith to us?
No.
And just assuming, stop me if any of this sounds familiar, just assuming that if we support them, then they will see some black brotherhood and reciprocate.
It hasn't worked yet.
That's the problem we've been having.
Hasn't worked yet.
We're in this mess today because we petitioned the U.S. government to bring in a bunch of black immigrants, assuming that they would reciprocate, not thinking at all that they would come over here specifically to undermine us.
And that's when you fucked up.
That there's no way they would play the scorpion and the frog. And that was exactly what they did.
And that's when you fucked up.
So you all can rattle off every country and every regime, whoever is the newest and latest to get bumped off or try to get bumped off or whatever. But what I'm saying is, before I support anybody, I need to know what I'm supporting. Well, Jason, the United States, don't bring me that United States stuff. The same folk who be whining and pitching and moaning about what, quote unquote, America and the colonial powers are doing will be kissing their white asses next week soon as they take their boots off their necks.
No, that's true.
We've seen this dozens of times. How many times we have to see the same damn rerun before we pick up the message?
Over and over and over and over.
Every time we turn around, that's what happens.
So we tried. Is what we're telling you. We already tried that.
They sit up here and they play this game. That's what I'm talking about. Have they demonstrated that they're on our side? Or do they see us as yet another side to be played against? Ooh, if we can recruit them Negroes from America, that we can prop them up to go with these folks over here. And as soon as they got their boots off their neck, all right, bring on the white women. We see that everywhere.
They want to be mixed so bad.
We sitting up here jumping up and down in all these places, and next thing you know, as soon as we pull out or as soon as we turn our heads just for a good minute, they shaking hands with the very folk that you and me were talking about. Hey, that's a problem. You and me talking about British colonialization. I did this program after Queen Elizabeth II died. I did that program. Take a look at all these places that are black folk are in that are still part of the British Commonwealth.
Why didn't y'all just overthrow them?
Take a look at all of them.
Like it was perfect.
So we talking about the dangers of colonialism, and they are proud members of the British Commonwealth.
Everybody would have backed you. The whole world would have backed you.
So they use us. See, this is that pimp preacher thing. They use us to put pressure on these colonial powers to tweak things a little bit We sitting up here talking revolution. They talking about revolution too. Yeah, revolution. Just tweak things a little bit. And then as soon as they got what they want, then they tell us, okay, revolution's over. We're like, wait a minute, but the colonial powers, yeah, we work things out with them, nigga. We work things out. So that's the game that we've been playing and allowing them to play. So no, I ain't slapping on no capes. I'm not jumping out no windows. I'm not flying faster than a speeding bullet. I'm not doing any of that until you have some folks that we treat them like American politicians now. If they want our support, I need to know what they're offering us. What is Burkina Faso offering us? What is Sierra Leone offering us? What is the former Congo offering us? What is the Congo offering us? What is Zimbabwe offering us? What is Ghana offering us? What's Rwanda offering us? And if we don't hear very clearly what it is, then what they're offering us is for them to handle their own business. That's what they're offering us. So all I can say is if these men are on the side of righteousness, well, then may good fortune follow them.
Very nice. We wish you well. We wish you well.
Until they have something to offer me, then I wish you well, and that's about all I can give you. On account of the fact that we've played this game before, I'm not dealing with you on the honor system.
Nope.
So until you can offer me some tangibles, if what you're offering me is intangible brotherhood, then I offer you intangible support. Attaboy. Good luck with that.
Makes sense.
That's the best I can do. Thank you very much for giving us a call. That sounds serious, don't it? That sounds dire, don't it? Hey, that's the best I can do. That's the best I can do on account of the fact you're not offering us anything. You're not offering us nothing. You know why? Because they are more afraid of foundational lineage people showing up because they know that we are the only difference makers. And they're terrified to death of that. They're scared of us showing up because we are the only people who actually make a difference. And they know that if we show up on their shores, they seen what we did in Watts, they seen what we did in New York, they seen what we done from sea to shining sea, and they know we gonna bring that energy. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. We want to back them colonialists off of us, but we ain't trying to see you come up. We ain't trying to have that. They're not stupid people. They're not stupid. They're not dumb. They're not ignorant. They know what they're doing. They want us to simply help move the needle a little bit to help them. They don't want revolutionary change. They would rather, because their goal is to pacify the colonists, not to remove them.
Yeah.
I need you all to understand that. Their goal is not to remove the colonizers. Their goal is to simply loosen their grip some. Jason, how can you say that? Because you all don't understand. Africa is not trying to stop the colonizers from getting at their minerals. They're not trying to remove white supremacy. They're simply trying to improve their position within it. They still want to give the minerals. They still want to sell them. They still want you to have your iPhones and your iPads. They still want you to have that. They simply want to improve the deal that they're getting. That's what I need you to understand. These African nations talking about blood diamonds. They're not trying to stop the blood diamond trade. They're simply trying to improve the price they get on the Kimberley exchange. That's what I need you to understand. They're not trying to stop it. They're simply trying to improve the price that they get on the Kimberley exchange.
Yeah.
I will say this, you ain't got to like it, but I will say this. You have had enough of us in all this damn time. Robert Mugabe could have contacted us if he wanted to. I said it. We can make all the videos about Zimbabwe we want to, but there's a reality that cannot be denied. Robert Zimbabwe could have gotten in touch with us if he wanted to. He could have done a Julius Malema if he wanted to. We're just going to have to accept the fact that wasn't what he actually wanted. He was trying to improve his position within the structure. He wasn't trying to get the revolutionary type of change we talk about, not that. That's why you can't make any headway in Nigeria. That's why you can't make any headway in Ethiopia or Kenya. That's why you can't get it done. They have all had the same ability. They send plenty of their illegal aliens over here. Them folk could have contacted us and gotten together with us decades ago. They could do it years ago. They could do it tonight. They're not doing it. They don't want what we want. Just accept it. They don't want it. They want us to give them a little bit of a head up and some help with the colonizers, but they ain't trying to change it. That's what I need you to understand.
It's true.
We let these folks play these damn head fakes. We're more concerned about what's going on where they are than they are. And if that sounds like Malcolm X talking about the house Negro and the field Negro, might be time to do a head check. If they're really concerned about these places like that, why are they not reaching out to the most powerful black people in the world and saying, let's cut this deal? Tell me the last African government that reached out to us and said, let's cut a deal. And you don't get to say Muammar Gaddafi. None of them have reached out to us and said, let's make a deal.
I don't want to do
Nor
that.
is there a movement among the population to do so. We need to stop playing this game where we delude ourselves. We need to stop playing this game where we fool ourselves and fantasize with ourselves. Everybody is deep off in the paint with it as us. They just ain't sent that email because they dealing with some things over there. I'll be damned. That's the whole reason they need to send that damn email. They need to be in touch with us. They ain't saying nothing to us.
They're not
Not
going
a word. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you damn right. I'm going to throw it down there. And I'm going to say that.
That's good.
I'm going to say this next part because you ain't going to like it. They worried to death that we going to grab up all the damn females. Oh, I said it. They worried to death that that's going to happen. That's why they had to talk with their daughters. By the way, don't do that. Don't mess with them Akatas over there. They might eat you, even though we over here putting all the girls on the school bus like some demented substitute teacher, driving them off into the sunset. But don't worry about them folks over there. That's what you worry about. Let's just lay it on the bricks. They sitting up here, trying to sit up here and protect everything from us. Because we're the only actual, real, legitimate threat that, by the way, if you look like their people, they're still trying to get preferential treatment in that regard. They're trying to do that.
Those are white Arabs. They're not Aboriginals. They're white.
No, if their daughters are over here, that's why they keep their daughters so damn close. They keep their daughters real close in the family. They don't want that heifer. Daddy wants to be the one who picks who she get married to, because if she has a chance to choose on her own, that's the last damn time you gonna see her. What? Once she get a sniff of the drip, and she get a little bit of taste of that swag, that's the end of that. That's a wrap. She's washing her hair. She's getting her nails done. She's bathing with that Caress soap, not the cake soap. The Caress soap.
Excuse me.
She ain't letting the damn pigs in the apartment no more. Yeah, ain't a bunch of goats walking through the apartment no more. That crazy ass goat bacon they leave hanging up outside, and shit, she took that down. She's gone to Whole Foods and ain't looking like no damn bedwench. She going to Whole Foods and buying something like she got some sense. Dad don't know what to do. He looking around to see where the jollof is, and she like, oh no, we don't do that no more. We got red beans and rice. We good. What have you done to my daughter? What have you done? They ain't walking around like they waiting on Sally Struthers to come popping up. Folks got some shoes with the toes ain't out, some high heeled. They got some pumps where the toes ain't out. There's no more sandals, none of that. What have you done to my daughter? I do not recognize. They are corrupted. I disown you. You are the Akata now.
Oh, funny shit.
Why? Because she buys her brooms at Home Depot? Because she smells like roses and not livestock? All right, Jason, did you have to do that? Jason, did you have to go there with that? Why you have to go there, Jason? If she does have an afro, it's actually kempt. It doesn't look like damn me tumbleweed. Yeah, you know that? You know that one? She's color coordinated. You know that one? She doesn't look like the error screen from a ColecoVision video game? What? Her wardrobe doesn't look like the original glitch screen from the NES? Nintendo Entertainment System. Don't stay away from them. Why you do that? Why would you want that? I'm just saying. No. Oh, am I about to go there? Am I about to go there? I'm about to go there.
Okay.
I got to do it, though. I got to ask. Okay. I've got to.
Okay.
Folks, when you go and check out, you go check out these group pages from these other folks, for the females, you notice, am I the only one who's ever noticed this? Do you ever hear them talking about perfumes? When was the last time you went to one of them groups and they had a group of these African females, they fresh off the boat, they in a circle, and they're talking about perfumes?
Like, if I post on Facebook right now about, ladies, what's your favorite perfume? I'm looking for the chick from Kenya to tell me what hers is. After all these, I can't think of a single one that I've ever had a conversation with about her favorite perfume. Not a single one. And I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Like, if I take them to Bloomingdale's, are they going to be standing there in front of the perfume desk looking around like stranger in paradise, or do they think I just took them to the bar and it's like, okay, this is all the whiskey and vodka and stuff like that? Is that the situation? Well, this smells nice. I'm asking for a friend, okay?
It's called
I'm just saying, by the way, everybody in here is like, oh, hell, we never thought about that. We never thought about that before. It's like, by the way,
they really
did y'all think for a moment, and have you all ever asked yourself, when was the last time you were talking to an African chick and y'all were talking about perfumes?
Never.
I'm asking for a friend. Can somebody tell me?
No.
Somebody tell me. When are the Bond people gonna make their way to Kenya? When are the Tom Ford people gonna make their way to Ethiopia and Ghana? I'm just asking. Come on now. I have a bunch of y'all. Y'all work at Lenox Mall, nigga. Come on now. There's a bunch of you. You work at Lenox Mall. You work at Pentagon Mall. You work at Mall of America. Come on now. Y'all work at these high-priced stores. You tell me. You've seen the African females all over the place. How many of them came up to you at the perfume desk? Come on now. I'm talking about even in New York.
Oh, shit.
Even in New York, how many of them came up to the perfume desk?
I'm not going to make it. Because I'm a joke. I asked. I'm not going to make it.
All right. I'm wrong for asking?
Is that wrong?
So wrong? I'm wrong for asking?
Nope. It's just...
There's a bunch of y'all worked at department stores. When was the last Kenyan female that you saw walk up to you? Okay. Hey, tell me the last time that a female was spraying on some perfume in Nollywood movies. Show me the Nollywood movie with a female spritzing on some perfume. Show me. How many of you fellas here, you dated an African female or married an African female and you bought her some perfume for a birthday gift? Auntie, chill. Come on now. I'm wrong. Okay, all right, I'm wrong. Fine. I'll just sit over here and be stupid and wrong by my damn... I'll just be over here making this up by my damn self. Since nobody wants to answer my questions. I'll just sit over here and just amuse myself, I suppose.
He's right. I can't recall anything. I can't. So he's right.
Call America code 770. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Jason Black. This is John Barton from Flint, Michigan, by way of Marietta, Georgia.
Hey.
Check this out. I got a fragrance brand. I sell fragrances. My brand is Priceless Scents. None of those women like good smelling fragrances. They always pick the funkiest stuff on the shelf. If they buy anything.
Well, they're probably looking for something cheap.
Yeah, they looking for the cheapest, stankingest perfume you can get. They like, if you want to sell something to like an African woman, pick whatever got oud in it. That's the only
you know what, y'all? I can't. I'm not gonna make it. My asthma, I can't breathe. And the type of laughing I'm gonna do, I can't make it. But the whole point, is, if you look over in the comment, you'll see where you can go. I'm putting it here because so many people ask me about different resources for this type of information. And now I've given, but if you go through my Twitter or um, my blog, if you go to my about me.com, Miss Nikki Ann, if you go to MissNikkiAnn.com, MissNikkiAnn.com, and just pay attention to the people I'm following, I'm still hearing it. And I just want to say that I can't. Wow. I didn't know he was going to come that strong. Okay. Now, what I love is that I do my own research. Okay. So, 49 this year. I've been listening to him for a long time, but the things he's talking about, I've been talking about my whole life. So it's just nice for the people who already lecture and give talks and everything. It's sometimes nice to have someone else doing it, and then you just feel like, especially when it's a black dude, I'm like, thank God. You don't want to be the only voice. You know what I'm saying? And so everything he said is right. That's the stuff I lecture on. I don't get my stuff from him. I don't get my stuff from any of this new media stuff. I grew up in a time where you had to go to the library. So, um, and I went to Tuskegee University. I studied and I studied and I researched and I wrote and I listened. It's about a lot of listening and it's about waiting for your moment of knowledge and information to meet your wisdom. Because if you don't have all of that in line, like he does, okay, then you're just like the rest of these 20-year-olds on YouTube just talking crazy. And I know originally in their minds it makes sense, but once they've reached older ages, and especially if they decide to have children, all you women out there who are like, no kids and everything, there's a certain wisdom that God grants you for reproducing. So, as dope as you think you are, okay, calling us mammies and all these things, you won't be granted that wisdom. You can only get it through the process. Okay. It's even more intense if you give birth yourself. I mean, then it's amplified. But if you adopt or anything like that, you can also get the wisdom. But if your body is the vessel for another human being, there's a point where your knowledge and learning and information will meet your wisdom. And you'll vibrate at a level that is insane. That's my testimony. That's my testimony. Now, if you're a guy, it's different. So with guys, for me, I simply say to them, okay, what you're waiting for is 30. Based on all of my research and living, a man like having kids before 30 I mean, it's helpful, but you haven't finished growing yet. So in women, we reach our peak earlier than you do. So when we marry, sometimes men of our own age, It's difficult if you marry in your 20s because he's not past 30. And it's just men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and God made us exactly how we're supposed to be. And so you're expecting this man who hasn't reached 30 to be able to match if you guys have already had kids, the grace and the power and the wisdom that comes with carrying a baby and birthing it and actually raising it, even if you don't raise it, you can give it away, but you will still get that wisdom of having carried it, birthed it, and then given it away. So you'll be a higher frequency vibration than any of these fake assholes walking around calling us mammies and birthers, no matter what they say. And that's why people who've had children, we just laugh at you. You're never going to be our equal. It's a gift that comes with being the vessel for something that's dangerous, a long process, and comes with a lifetime of work. But that's all we're here for is work in some form. So running away from that, it doesn't help you in the end. And I'm not saying that everyone's meant to birth children. So there are different levels to it, different things that go into it. But understand that just because I'm saying a thing and you haven't heard it doesn't mean that other people aren't saying the same thing. And then also that if other people are saying a thing, doesn't mean that that's where um, another lecturer, speaker, researcher, writer has gotten it from someone. No, because the wisdom, the knowledge, the information, the learning, it's universal. Okay, so if you are an open vessel for it, you have to be open for it, right? Then it's all going to sound the same. And that's why people are very touchy about their work, okay? Because they don't want um, the credit of whatever it is they're saying to go to someone else, you see? But don't worry about that because all you've gotten is you've gotten you're poured out into you from something else the same information. So we're getting the same thing, okay? It just depends on how we get it, and what makes it unique is the individual who's saying it. There's nothing new under the sun, S-O-N, not S-U-N. There's nothing new under the sun. So wisdom does not change, it remains the same. The same way you will hear church people say, God doesn't change, Jesus doesn't change, it remains the same. So, how many of us on this planet, it's not your personal wisdom, it's been poured into you because of all of the work that you've put in whichever way you've done it in your lifetime. Okay. So, and each person receives it better from one person over another. Like I lecture and I cuss my ass off. That's not for everybody, but that's me. And I attract the people who that's the way I like to do shit. That's my kind. Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, I watch it because she just go. That's me. Okay. And then you have others who come about it a different way, right? Based on their individual self. So never worry about that because you don't take credit for the wisdom. It's been poured into you. You didn't make it up. Okay? But your knowledge, your information, and your research are very individualistic. And so your truth and your testimony will stand out to those who are meant to receive it from you. Okay? If not, then you're pushing for money. So you're selling people your ideas like on YouTube. But you don't know if you'll be able to stand by those thoughts and ideas 20 years from now. I just knew common sense told me, um, yeah, don't open your mouth until you have wisdom and something to say because it's going to affect people. Just sit back and watch the show until it's your time. You'll have your time. But if you do it before then, you're gonna have to be the apologizer for a lot of years. Oh, I'm so sorry I offended. I'm so sorry I offended. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Once you've gotten the wisdom, you're not apologetic because you know what the fuck you're talking about. And the other people with the wisdom know that you are now in their club. They just know. Doesn't even matter the delivery. Doesn't even matter if you would be friends in life. They know that, oh, this person's gotten the wisdom. They got that download. Boop, 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 boop. What software are you running? 20-year-old software? It's very young software. 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. For men, especially. Okay. So I'm saying a lot. I'm gonna actually like go finish it off. So the intent here is not to take from Jason and his platform. It's just I got a progressive illness, y'all. I'm tired. I got a lot going on. And it was just easier to cast it. Hopefully you heard it. I don't know. Even if you didn't, it's all good. And you can see there where I've left the messages about where to go so that you can go to his platform and listen to his wisdom that is combined with his individualistic experience of life as an Aboriginal, right? So that's where you go, okay? And you see his delivery. Everybody has their own, right? And I just can tell you that whether you like his delivery or not, it is on point. The research, the information, the knowledge on point, and then he's got the wisdom. And you put that together, you got a powerhouse. And people who can't even stand you, you know, personally, on would I be a friend with somebody like this, will listen. If the veil has been lifted, if the mental slavery is broken, and that you have to do on your own. And studying can help because for us as men and women, seeing it in books that are old, you know, hundreds of years old, and all of this, because it's like, okay, this keeps happening. This is normal. This is the wisdom. This is the knowledge. This is the information that keeps being passed down, and it doesn't change. So if you go study it for yourself, you'll find it. Be patient. You don't have to hop on here and talk as if at the age of 20 that you're anywhere near what he's saying. You're not. You're not. And then there are women who have children early, right? Because we're ready at an early age. But they didn't go study, research, and they don't have the knowledge. You see? So the combination, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of patience, Um, please just don't get up here saying things and you have to apologize all the time. That means you're not ready. Make your money on here doing something else than ruining people's lives because you're just talking. See, we didn't have this to be able to make that mistake. So we're pointing it out to you, not to offend you, but to know that you're in a certain time where these people actually have you believing that you're at a level you're not based on how many likes you got and how much your check was from YouTube, from Google. Like they're part of the lie. Google's a part of the lie. So did they put up anything here to clarify anything or to correct the history books here? No. It's the people who put it up like this bullshit, y'all. I'm on YouTube, but I'm telling you this bullshit. So I don't know. If I were that young and talking like this back in the day, somebody would have told me to shut the fuck up. My mother, somebody listening. But you don't know the fuck you're talking about. And someone's listening to you. And they're gonna make life decisions based on what you've said. And you can, and not you can, you do and you are ruining people. And someone's gonna have to undo all of that work you put in at the age of 21 trying to cop a buck off the white man. And you're doing your own people in. But all you talk about is your people and who's got to do better. Half the time when I hear these young people say it, I'm looking like, I want you to stop the recording right now and go do better. I'm telling you, not even half the time, the majority. If I'm listening to someone, a woman on here talking, and she's in her 20s and she hasn't had a kid or something, I'm just looking like, now, if you're in here, you're helping to find people who are lost, and you're doing all those are things to do in your 20s. You help and you lend a hand to those of us who are at the higher levels, right? And then you're going to be around the wisdom, the information, but you're sitting here in your own house, you're the only input. That's a little crazy. That's not how Aborigines function, or how white men function. And if that's your goal, then you're doing great. Just keep coming on here every day and do what you do. It's interesting, like you're afraid to lose this buck. And there's more out there. So go, the Black Authority, foundational Black Americans, right? So he's the B1 movement, which I've always thought was beautiful. Okay. His movement, I also, of course, uh, Dane Calloway. They're people, okay? And I'm up there with Posted listening to him every day. Okay. So there are a lot of people out here who are ready and prepared. And I can tell you that when you get your reparations, it won't be because of the bullshit you 20-year-olds have been spewing on here for years now. It'll be because of people like that, people like myself, people older than me, not too much older, because there's a window when you get older and you're like, fuck all that. That's for you middle-aged people. We did our part. Can we please sit back? Like, yeah, you've passed on the wisdom. Yeah, you can sit back. But there are some older ones who will come on and they do their thing and I follow them. So just be careful. Is he still talking? Is he still alive? I'm about to go, y'all. I need to. He's still going. All right. I need to do my meds and everything and deal with my port. Oh, he's still going. It's good. But the laughing, I'm just gonna choke. I'm going. Why am I still? Be good. Be patient. Be in the moment. Be great. Be a good neighbor. All they offering on lecture day. Election day, he said, is free water. All right, y'all. You know, wait. When I was younger, where I live in Connecticut, okay, they used to air Farrakhan all the time and um Martin, but mostly like there was every Sunday they would air Farrakhan's like weekly address or whatever. And so, and then like I was in the NAACP, I was in all of these different things that aren't as solid as they used to be. On Sundays, I knew I was going to be going down the street and I'll see the Hartford Current on one side of the street, the black dude like Hartford Current. Then on the other side, I'll see the Muslims, right? With the little bow ties and everything, and the bean pies and the final call and all that. Sundays used to be so just like we were poured into spiritually and also intellectually. And you guys don't have that without the propaganda and a buck pushing it. You see? So it's a big difference. But don't worry. All of this has been done before. It's been done better before throughout history. Electronics. Yeah, this is not new. And you're going to get tired of it. You're going to grow lonely. And that's coming from the generations who helped to make it. Like, yeah, we may help to make it, but we put that shit down. We move on, do some other shit. So you're gonna get tired of it. He about to go off. So it's right on the nose. All right, y'all. I forgot what I was saying. Too busy listening to him. You're good. You're good. You're gonna be okay. Aborigines, you're gonna be okay. We got you. Make sure you have yourself too. All right. Be careful out there. Be safe. It's crazy out there. And the other people don't have your best interest at heart. And I ain't talking about the white creature. I'm talking about Aboriginals who are not of this land, the so-called blacks not of this land. And he said what I said that I've been lecturing about forever. It's not like I'm saying something new, because there's nothing new under the sun. It's the same wisdom. And if we want to get to the reparations, the cycle has now been broken and we can move forward. We can't worry about other people right now because they have countries to go back to. We're on ours. So all the Aboriginals outside who come from other places, we don't have no time for you no more. And we gave you a lot and we got stabbed in the back from personal experience. Trust me, young people, you'll understand it's going to happen and be like, damn, nothing's changed. No, we're different tribes and we shouldn't be occupying each other's land unless there's been a contractual agreement. And like somebody's marrying somebody, okay, cool, all these little things. And you keep the record straight. So, I don't know. I can't worry about anybody else. And now they're going into their years of enslavement. So, you think we going back into slavery with them? No. We did ours. We tried to tell them. But again, that's what it's about, personal experience. So, they'll learn, they'll get it. And if they want to tribally do things contractually and shit, cool. But if not, trust me, they're already giving them money. Anyway, you haven't gotten yours, but I got stuff sitting here from my own state giving the West Indians money. Why are you giving any West Indians any money? Got it all here. All my research. And do your research. No matter where I go, even if it's with the YSL trial, I do my own research. It doesn't even, I don't have to mention it in the chat. Okay. I mean, he ate,